Okay. For the audience that does not know you, feel free to introduce yourself.
My name is Santi. I do social media. I catch predators sometimes, and yeah.
Well, so talk because you have like a really interesting variety of content. Because I was trying to figure out like what exactly does this guy do? And he's doing everything. You have photos with Mickey Mace. You have skits with like 32 million on Instagram, 56 million on Instagram, 11 million on Instagram. Like big videos. You're also a streamer. So who are you? Exactly. Who is Santi?
I'm just a guy that makes videos. I just like social media and stuff like that.
When did you get started?
I got started in I started making video. Well, I would always make videos when I was little, like just for fun. You post them onto YouTube, like me and my cousin.
Yeah.
But I started like making videos in 2019 when I was in high school, and then I got a little more serious with it and dropped out of college to like do it full time in like 2022. So yeah, and now that's where I'm at now.
So talk to me about this video, which is honk for some head. Where did that idea come from? Because it did very well.
Yeah, dude. So I do these honking videos, and originally I started a few years back. I saw like a Chick-fil-A car, like a real like Chick-fil-A car, and it was like honk if you love chicken. So then I did a honk video for them, and it went absolutely viral. Then I like waited a bit, and I ran into them again on the road. So I did it again, and that video went viral. And I was like, yo, like I can't just like keep waiting for this like car. So I just like started making it a skit, like where I write like different things on different cars and just honk. And those videos, I have yet to have one of those ones flop, bro. They just go viral. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your other most viral video. You pick on someone who plays Minecraft. How did that video come about?
Oh, dude. Well, I got this sick Minecraft tattoo. It's like a Chapman table.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's an enchantment table, yeah.
Yeah, most people don't know. They think it's just some cool like symbol or something. But no, it actually spells out different because this is actually like an alphabet language. So it actually like that's like a D, that's an I in that like language and so on. But it spells out different because I always think you gotta be different, man. That's what makes you stand out. And who wants to be the same as everybody else? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's yeah. So then I kind of I got that tattoo and I kind of just implemented it into like skits and stuff like that. To yeah, like Minecraft. I fuck with Minecraft, bro. I just got that Minecraft Happy Meal like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, the movie's doing a really good job of promoting itself. It seems like everybody's making memes about it. And Seal, Chicken Jockey, all that.
Yeah, I've been playing that game since I was little, bro, in like elementary school.
How old are you?
I'm 21. I'm gonna be 22 in April though, so that's coming up in about like 2 weeks.
How old do you think I am?
You look about the same age as me, maybe like 20, 21.
Nope, lower.
Lower, 18, 19.
There we go, 18. There we go. You hit it. So you're also followed by a lot of interesting people, and that's what caught my attention was the people that follow you. Followed by, I'm just gonna see why some of these people follow you, or if you even know. One of those people is Bo Loudon. You know who he is?
Yeah. He's like into politics and stuff, correct?
Yeah. How come he followed you?
I believe I met him when I was catching predators with Lil Pump in Miami. I'm pretty sure he was there. I didn't talk to him that much. But like we were in the same spot. I'm pretty sure that was him. And then I'm not sure because we didn't talk much. But then I posted some like predator videos of me getting arrested, and I think he followed me from those. Like I think he might have recognized me and followed me from those because like I said, like when he followed me, I said follow you from like the real. So I'm pretty sure he followed those videos. And yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Pretty chill, it seems like.
J-Oma.
Oh, J-Oma's the homie, bro. Like J-Oma's like we talk every now and then. I met him through in LA when I was catching predators as well. He helped us, and him and his cousin, they're super cool people. Yeah.
Do you know who? And this person doesn't follow you, but you're making something interesting. So do you know who Life and Scars is?
I'm bad with names.
Game is game. Game is game, guy.
Game is game. I'm not sure.
If you look him up, he'll be like,
Maybe yeah. Let me see if I know this guy. What's his
like
name?
life and scars. Life and scars.
Just like on Google, or should I go on Instagram?
I mean, either, but Instagram probably is better.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, I've seen this. This is the dude. This is him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That guy.
I don't know him, but I've seen his videos before.
Well, so I did a podcast with him. I met up with him, and we were talking about. We're like, listen, dude, we should do predator hunting with you because that'd be really funny. We're talking to if we do it with a guy like that, like he's just a naturally super funny person. You should come down for that. That'd be really cool.
Dude, I'm down. Where are you guys planning on doing this?
We haven't talked about this yet because we're also, I'm doing a lot right now. But we have spoken about it. Probably somewhere in New Jersey. That'd be cool.
Dude, I'm down 100%. Just try if you could, just let me know in advance. I'm dealing with like a bunch of legal stuff for the catching predators. So like if you want me to, I would love to be a part of it, but I just need to know like in advance type shit.
What's going on with that? Tell me about that. That's interesting. Like lawsuit legal or like arrested legal?
Oh yeah, like I went arrested. I was in jail for a few days. This happened a year ago, sometime in April, so coming up on a year. And I caught a predator here in. I was catching a bunch here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I'm like. This is where I'm from. This is where the home base is. And
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, bro. I just watched Breaking Bad. I'm like 15 years late. Like, but I just finished watching it. It's pretty good. But what happened? Yeah, so no, I was catching a predator, and then there's a bunch of legal stuff with the DA and those people here in like Albuquerque. So like I'm just dealing with a bunch of just like legal stuff like for that. Like, yeah.
What's the charge if you don't mind me asking?
It was false imprisonment, conspiracy, and interference with communications. Because I caught this predator, bro, and I made him call his mom, and yeah, I don't know. It's super weird, like what they're doing. I don't know. Man, I need Jayoma, bro. If I was in Texas, I would have called the Jayoma.
Well, so now this makes me curious. I've actually thought about this. Is it illegal to say to a predator, I won't call the cops if you do X, Y, and Z? Like those Vitali. I have no idea, by the way, if Vitali is faked. People are saying it's faked. I don't think it is. But, Vitali, everybody's always like, is this even legal at this point? Predator catchers be doing everything but calling the cops. Like, you know, I'm sure you've gotten those comments yourself. Like, I don't think.
Yeah. No, any predator catch that I've ever done, like by myself or with someone, I was real. I could vouch for that. I got the messages still. I keep it all.
Okay.
Keep it. With Vitali, every predator that Vitali caught with me is 100% real. I could vouch for that. But there was a point when me and Vitali got into some, disagreements, and he was still catching predators with some other dude, and I don't know. I can't speak for those ones. They were kind of sus, but I don't know if they were real or fake. But all the ones with me, 100% real. I promise.
What do you think the craziest one was? Like, or what your favorite, so to speak?
My favorite one is probably when I dressed up as the little girl. Here, dude, I caught this 55-year-old guy, and he was meeting with a 12-year-old girl. And I dressed up, like I got a wig, and I like wore like little girl clothes, and I like pretended to be a little girl. And then, dude, that one was a good one, bro. Yeah, just kind of like pressed him and stuff in the Walmart, like as a little girl. That's probably one of my favorites. I've done some crazy ones, like just from anything, bro. Like making the dude walk the plank across. Did you see that one on my Instagram?
Yeah, how could I not? That was everywhere. That was everywhere.
Like there's a lot. Like, so.
Wait, so was this specifically on your live where you made the guy walk the plank with the mouse traps?
It was on Vitali's live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen that absolutely everywhere. Like everywhere I go, that's where I was. It's actually funny. That's where I saw one of the comments of like, "Bro, these people be doing everything but calling the cops." Like,
I mean, a lot of the time the cops don't do anything because there's not like an actual underage child there. You know what I mean? So like they don't do anything a lot of the time. So it's kind of more of like maybe taking matters into your own hands, or like you know what I mean? Because like you can see it with any predator catchers, bro. Any of them, bro. They like the cops usually go after them. I don't know if you've seen the recent stuff with Gideon or with Alex Rosen, like just stuff like, bro. They always come after them, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of very interesting ones. So I have a question. So is it true? Because I was having a conversation with a friend about this. Is it true that on Vitali's live, there was a guy who the guy who got punched in the head? Did he die? Is that true, or is he just hospitalized?
Yeah, I think he was just hospitalized. I know he didn't die.
Okay.
Um, that was a Ty Dolla Sign. Yeah, that one was crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
see,
because
like, you asked me my favorite, but there's just so much. But yeah, I just picked that one because it was just. I remember that one was just me and my cameraman. Like that was before we had like security and a whole team, and I think that's a lot more like genuine and real than like. I still like the team stuff. It's definitely makes it a lot easier. But yeah, no, that guy didn't die. His name was Hart. I remember he was like 60 something, beating with a little kid.
so my next question is, how did you meet Vitali?
I met Vitali in LA at Zoo Culture. Zoo Culture was having like its 1 year anniversary. And you know Zoo Culture, right? Like Bradley Martin and
Of course,
stuff.
of course, of course. Sari Safari, Bradley Moore, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I pulled up and it was just like a bunch of creators were there. I ran into Vitali and I was like, "Oh, dude! Like I would watch this guy like when I was like a kid, bro." So I ran up to him. He was streaming. I like at the time I was catching predators on my own, and I pitched him the idea to catch predators with me. He said, "Yeah." I got his cameraman's number. Dude never hit me back. I drove all the way back from LA to New Mexico, and then he hit me back. Like he's like, "Bro, let's catch predators like tomorrow or like that," and I was like, all right, bet. Like he didn't even know I was gone, and I just hopped back in the car, 12-hour drive back to LA, and then we did our first catch, super successful, and then we just kept running it up for the whole year.
So my next question is, how does that feel? Like, kind of. So, like, did this skyrocket like your career at all? Like, or were you already like famous kind of before this? Right.
No, it definitely helped, and especially helped with my streaming, like on Kick and stuff, to grow a bigger audience. But I think I did have a decent following, and I was pretty, especially in Albuquerque, I'm pretty well like locally known. But yeah, I think it did help a lot. But I did have a decent following, better more than like the average person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. No. But what? So my next question is, have you been recognized?
Yeah. I get recognized all the time here in my hometown, and then in LA, it's a little more rare, but it still happens, here and there, and in like different places like Vegas and stuff. Like, a little more rare, but yeah.
Do you ever? Okay. Here's my next question. Have you ever gotten a hate comment that you thought was valid, or a criticism that you were like, "Wow, I'm going to change this like from now on in my content"?
No, I don't really care, honestly, what people say, and I think that's like a big thing with being like a influencer or content creator. You just gotta not care. I mean, I do a lot of controversial stuff, but at the end of the day, like, I'm just like having fun as long as I'm not like really hurting somebody or doing something like that. I don't see a problem with it. Yeah, but comments, dude, like you get a bunch of negative comments. It's whatever. I don't really care. They be roasting my hairline, bro.
Is it bad?
Bro, like I don't know. It's like my hair's not as thick as it used to be. Because I was on Accutane, bro, and I'm pretty sure that like fucked up my hair. But like I don't really give a fuck, dude. I just rock a hat. And then also, bro, this weekend, um, if everything still goes according to plan, I'm going to Turkey with Danny Duncan and Kiwan. And me and Kiwan, Kiwan, Danny Duncan, you know them?
I know Danny Duncan. I forget Keyone.
Kiwan's like his best friend.
Yeah, short. Wait, is he the short one?
Yeah.
Or okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're going. Me and him are getting hair transplants in Turkey for Danny's YouTube channel. So, bro, like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if anybody says, like, bro, bro, like, you just gotta not care, bro. I really like, and I genuinely don't like about anything.
So what does motivate you in life then? If you don't care about much, then what does motivate you in life? Success, money, fame, like
Yeah, I don't know. What motivates me? Yeah, I just want to keep growing and growing a platform and an audience to like entertain people and like just I don't know. It's not even specifically the money. I mean, the money's nice too when you get a little paycheck here and there. But the thing about social media, it's really inconsistent. Like, sometimes you get like paid like a lot, or get big payout. Some months you barely make anything. Like it's really based on your views and your and stuff like that. I guess yeah, I guess I just want to keep growing. I mean, I'm only 21. I just want to keep growing my platforms and my, to make a name for myself. That's basically what motivates me.
I was just thinking about the predator hunts and the ideas because I was thinking, what's it called? Because if you come down to Jersey and we do, because there's probably so many pedophiles in Jersey. I just have a very strong feeling. I mean, they're everywhere, which is kind of the sad thing.
Oh, dude, we'll find them. Yeah, we'll get them.
Yeah, I'll find them. How do you find them? Like, how are you usually looking for them? Like Snapchat? I mean, I don't imagine it's that hard, but like,
Really, any app that you could like talk to strangers, where you could like, just meet someone random in the area. But no, I have a whole method and a whole team that helped me do that. I started off baiting them on myself and just like with trial and error, I kind of learned what works and what doesn't work. But yeah, me and my friends, like, dude, if you want to catch a predator, we'll catch one for sure in Jersey in like a day, bro. Like, we'll find one for sure. A couple, probably too.
yeah. My question is, what's the most dangerous predator that you've caught? Like, has anybody pulled a gun on you or a knife? Like,
Um, One guy, it's on my Rumble along with my other ones because my YouTube got deleted. So I post my personal predator catches on Rumble. But there was this dude that like he just like started like fighting me. Like he just like ran and attacked me. And like I remember we just fought and then that's pretty much it. Um, Other than that, I can't think of any ones that like I've caught like hundreds of predators, bro. And I think I've been really lucky, honestly, to like I haven't really had a dangerous one, but then again, for most of them, we did have security and stuff like that when it got a little more higher end. So like maybe that's a factor too. But yeah, most of these guys are just like pussies, like that, just like little kids. You know what I mean?
you ever see that one video of the guy? I think it's an Asian guy, and he like he just flips the fuck out, and he goes in
Yeah,
his car, and he like tries to back out,
he just
and
everywhere, and he's like running
yeah,
around. Yeah, I seen that.
well,
That was a good one, bro.
yeah, he crashes his car. That's like it's like infamous, like the predator hunting. There's another one that's infamous where the guy's in a Walmart and he comes around. I think it's like one of the aisles, and he's like, "Yeah, I knew this was going on. Yeah, I knew this was gonna
Oh
happen."
yeah,
Like,
I've seen that one too.
what was the? Do you know about that? Like, what was the reasoning? Did you see that full video?
I don't know if I saw it from beginning to end, but I definitely saw the clips, a few of the clips posted. Yeah, I don't know the context, but that's how they are. They try to like cover it up, like they go in victim mode, like and like yeah, like you know what I mean?
My next question is also about EDP. So EDP 445, when that happened, right? And it's still a big deal, like to this day, because he's not in prison. Why do you think he's not in prison?
Dude, because they like we catch all these guys and like either like I don't know, I guess there wasn't like an actual little kid there. I really don't know, but that's what I'm assuming is like maybe not enough evidence or anything, because when it goes legally, like it's a lot more like you need a lot more like hard evidence, like just like I don't know, it's just weird. Like you would think that it would be like enough evidence and enough hardcore evidence, just being like, "Hey, I'm 15," and then being like, "Oh yeah, bet, like let's like hook up," like but I guess they need. It just really depends. I don't know. People, the legal system's kind of corrupt, and I don't know. It's just kind of weird, bro. At times, you know what I mean?
What's the worst predator you ever caught? Just like downright diabolical, vile, fucking whatever.
The dirtiest one was probably the dude that I dressed up as a little girl, bro. We've had some nasty ones, but dude, I could have probably went younger than 12, but I like didn't want to risk like losing him. You know what I mean? So I like
Right.
cut it. Oh, but I remember I started at 15 and I was like, hey, I'm just kidding. I'm actually like 12. And I like brought it down. And then I was going to say it again, like, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm actually like 8 or something. But like, I didn't want to lose him because I really wanted to catch that guy. But the messages and stuff were like pretty freaking wild, bro. I'm not going to lie. Like, this guy, like you could tell when some of them like this isn't like their first time doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
So do you think? Okay. So here's my next question. Um, a lot of people like criticize it for being like dangerous and like a lot of it is like vigilantism because it is technically vigilantism. But there was actually a clip that went viral recently too, where there was an 18-year-old kid, like a kid my age, who went to meet up with like a 16-year-old girl, and it's like, you know, I like that, and then like they actually like pressed him on it, but he was 18, she was 16. Like That's not bad. Like it's my. I mean, it's like yeah, like maybe it's a little weird, but like,
Yeah,
it's not illegal.
I don't know if I seen the video, but I did hear about that somewhere. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like the age of consent in most places, I think is like 16 or something. I don't know. It really depends on the state. Everywhere you move around. But yeah, 16. You said 16 to 18.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's 16. That's like 3 years. That's like a freshman, like a junior or senior, like in high school. Like it's always like that. Like I like in high school. I don't know. Like there was always a bunch of those relationships, and it's kind of like frowned upon. But like it
yeah.
was never. Oh, like it's like they're both like still in high school. Like it's like I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, keep going, keep going.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've definitely seen those relationships too, unfortunately. I think I think it technically should be illegal, like 18 and 14, because you are an adult. Like anything beyond 4 years for a minor, even like it's kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's when it becomes pedophilic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like for the younger ages, because that's like when everybody's like still like in school, growing up, developing and doing all that stuff. Because if you think about it, like a 30 and a 34-year-old, that's not weird. It's just different for like the little, like that's a big age gap because that's like a fraction
Yeah.
of their life already. But like the older you get, it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think societally the limit should be like 2 years, right? Like that's like generally where people are going to start to look down on you. I think that's kind of where they should. Like
Yeah.
they should probably like start a little bit like like it's a little weird, but like you're within your rights to do it. And then 3 years is like the max. Like you're really pushing it. It's kind of bad. And then 14, like 4 years. That's it. Like no, you can't do 4 years. I think that's my idea on it.
Yeah. 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 No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the worst ones are always when it's like a tremendous age gap though. When it's like the guy's like 30 and she's like 12, like
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
crazy.
yeah. What's the what's the biggest crash out that you've had on a predator, like from a predator?
Oh, dude, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. I don't know, bro. They get, I don't know, honestly. The biggest crash out. I'm trying to think of one. Watch, we're gonna end this interview. I'm like, bro, I should have said that one. I should have said that one. But I don't know, honestly. They usually just get kind of scared, like, and just like get super quiet. I don't remember. We might have to come back to that question. But I know there's been some, but I just can't think of any off the top of my head.
What are the
Like,
best lies that you've seen come up with? Like just the biggest fucking lies that you've seen people come up with.
damn, they're like, oh, I was just coming here to like, oh, dude, they're like, I'm just coming here to like check on him, like make sure he's like safe, like so that nobody else gets to him before me. Like I'm not a predator, but like, you know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
wanted to like get like they try to play like they weren't like I don't know. It's just weird.
Why is that always the one? Like all the predator catches, they always say, "No, man, I was coming here to make sure she was okay, man." Like how? I don't know. That's just like such a weird lie to make up, and all of them make it up too. It's the same lie.
Yeah, it's just I guess that's the first thing they go to in their defense mode. They're just like, I'm not a pedophile, you know?
Well, my question is that in high school, when you were a kid, did you ever see any of those like straight up pedophilic, like 18, 13, 18, 14-year-old relationships?
I remember seeing some in high school. Like I remember like a senior would be dating a freshman.
Ah,
And yeah, it was like I don't know, for me in my high school, like people weren't like, oh my gosh, like pedophile, predator, child predator, or this and that. It was more like I said, like just kind of like frowned upon. Like they would be like, hey, that's weird, and like kind of maybe make fun of them a little bit, but like it was never like oh shit, like you know what I mean?
yeah,
That's for my high school specifically. I don't know. I can't speak for other ones, but yeah, that's how it was. But I
yeah.
definitely saw some of those like around when I was before I graduated.
Well, I mean, like even in my high school, like I mean, I have to be careful what I say here because I'm still in. But it's like I have seen those relationships, and those, I mean, at least where I am, like those are rightfully so very, very, very like looked down upon. Like people look at them as like just pedophilia. Like it's kind of fucked up. You're 18, about to be 19 in some cases, and it's like you're dating 15, 14-year-old girl. Like, come on, like.
I remember being in middle school and like some of the people would like have like boyfriends in like that were freshmen in high school. So it's just like it's really just like a weird like thing that like I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah.
That is really weird. Eighth grade, well, ninth grade, eighth grade is different, but like ninth grade, seventh, that's like a whoa, like that's like a big jump.
Yeah. I meant like maybe like a like yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, it's just different when you're a kid because like the difference between 3 years as a kid and like you were saying before, like 3 years as a kid, 3 years as an adult is very different.
Yeah, it's just like that's like 3 years if like say someone's 12, that's already like a quarter of your life, 3 years, you know what I mean? Compared
Yeah.
to if you're like 20, you know what I mean? That's like it breaks it down into, you know?
Yeah. Well, so here's what I'm gonna say. What do you think about like the backlash against predator hunting? Like, do you think any of it's valid?
Um I think people should be able to like hunt predators. Like when they're saying they can't hunt predators, is that what you're saying? Like going against it?
Yeah, like, because I remember I was watching the Dr. Phil interview with like, these predator hunters. And he's like, these people are vigilantes. Like, they can't do this. This gets in the way of police. Like, what do you think of that like mentality that this is dangerous? This should be condemned.
No, I think there's like certain like kind of like lines you got to stay within, you know what I mean? Like but yeah, if you're staying within those lines, I don't see the problem with it. And at first, the police, like for me specifically, they didn't see a problem with it. I would even like go to them and go with meetings with the FBI here in Albuquerque and give them the evidence and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, like without no warning, then they have a problem with it. Like it's just like I think as long as you're staying within the guidelines and at the end of the day, you know you are like turning them in or doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I think there's nothing wrong with that. In a sense, you know, just depends on how you're doing it. Because that goes for everything too. You know what I mean? It's just like you gotta. There's like there's certain lines to cross and to not cross at some point.
Have any of your predators gotten arrested?
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
convicted. Have any of them gotten convicted?
I believe so. Yes, definitely. Very few because they don't. It's very rare that they actually arrest them and convict them, even when we turn it in and call the police. Um, but yeah, some have.
Has anybody in the public like because like in that Vitali video where the guy gets punched in the head, right, and he gets into the hospital, has anybody like publicly like helped you like in the middle of a hunt, like interfere, like a random civilian?
Oh yeah. There's been times like where the dude's running and they like stop him, or like they stopped him and like waited for the police to come. Yeah, there's people that like always like they hear it and they help out like and stuff. Yeah. Sometimes they even take their side, bro. It's really hit or miss. There's been times where we were catching one and they were like they helped us and stuff. And there's been times where we're catching them and like, hey, leave them alone, leave them alone. Like you know what I mean? It really just depends on the people, like the people around you.
Why do you think that it's so common? Like pedophile. Why do you think pedophiles are like everywhere? Right? Because there was even like a New Jersey predator poachers like or predator. This was like before it was popular too. I remember there was an account doing stuff like that. So why is it such an issue? Like why do you? Because I don't have that urge. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's such a weird idea to like go and say like, oh, I want to meet up with a girl that's like 5-10 years younger than me. Like
Yeah. I honestly don't know. It's probably just like anything else, like how people are like thieves or like they still like they do that stuff. Obviously, I think this is a lot more extreme than that, going after little kids. But like it's just like why do they do it? I don't know. They just want to or they like to or I don't know what's wrong with their head, dude.
do you ever feel bad for like making fun of these predators or no?
No, yeah, because at the end of the day, like I'm a person. I think I have a pretty big heart, and there's times like where I'm catching them, and say we're like shaving their head or doing something like that, or I'm editing the video like to post, and I'm like watching back the footage. I'm like, damn, I feel kind of bad. Like I feel like a bully. Like I feel like a dick, doing that. But then I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, what they're doing isn't right either. So it kind of makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I think just because I'm just a normal person, I definitely sometimes feel bad and like is this going too far? Like, you know what I mean?
What advice would you give your younger self if you could give any?
Um, just don't give up and keep doing what you're already doing, and um, I mean, it'll work out. I mean, it's working out right now, so yeah.
What advice would you give to young people?
Just just don't care what people think. And just do what you want to do. Like, even if outside of social media, just in general, like, bro, just do what you want to do. I mean, we only got like one life, right? Like, you know, can't live it like being like scared to take risks and scared to think outside the box and do things different. So just be yourself, do what you want to do. As long as you're not like being weird, like don't be a predator. Like do what
Yeah.
you want to you know what I mean? Like, follow your dreams and stuff.
What do you think the key to finding adventure in life is, and making yourself interesting?
I think taking risks. You gotta take risks. You never know. Sometimes it could absolutely like fail, but at least you could say that you took that risk. It's better to know that you tried rather than knowing that like, yo, what if I tried? You know what I mean? So I think not a lot of people do that, and it really makes you stand out as an individual when you're um, you know, taking risks.
All right, I think that's a good place to end off. Any final words to the audience?
Um, that's pretty much it. Thanks for having me though, dude. I appreciate you, man.
No problem. You too. I'm gonna stop the recording. We'll talk after the show. All right. In 3, 2, 1.